Hello everyone, this is Perry. Thank you for watching us on another one of our videos on زبانیکا YouTube channel. سلام دوستان، اسمم پری هستش. مرسی از اینکه ما رو توی کانال ویدیوهای زبانیکا تماشا میکنید. So today we are going to talk about by and with. Are they the same? Are they different? If they are, how? Okay, so stay with us if you have problems with using by and with in a proper place. So as you know, well, first of all, I am going to give you a little quiz to see what you know and what you don't know about by and with, and then I am going to explain the similarities and the differences between these two words. Okay. پس من هیچ براتون آماده کردم، دو تا جمله است. شما باید به من بگید کدوم درسته، by or with. Okay, so the first one is I learn English by watching زبانیکا. I learn English with watching زبانیکا. Which one is correct? If your answer is I learn English by watching زبانیکا, then you are correct. Good job. I am going to explain to you later on. Okay, so I learn English with watching زبانیکا? No. The second one, I write with a pen. I write by a pen. Which one is correct? Good. So if your answer is I write with a pen, then you are correct. So in this case, with is a correct answer. And I write by a pen, no. So let's talk about the first similarity between by and with. So I learn English by watching زبانیکا. I write with a pen. Both of these prepositions are answering the question, how? How do you learn English? I learn English by watching زبانیکا. How do you write? I write with a pen. So remember this. Both of these, they almost have the same meaning. So they tell you how something was done. پس هر دوی اینها جواب سوال چگونه است. چگونه این کار رو انجام میدی؟ By or with that. Okay, so stay with us. In the next part, I am going to tell you more about the differences and the similarities between these two. So let's talk about by. When do we use by? Let's take a look at some examples. I turn on the computer by pushing the button. I turn on the computer by pushing the button. I keep healthy by exercising. Do you see a pattern here? Yes, you are right. Usually when we have a verb, okay, and that verb is describing how we did something, we use by. Notice usually, okay, these are general rules. Of course there are exceptions, but these are general rules. So most of the times this rule applies to by and plus a verb. Okay, so usually when we have by, we use a verb, or when we have a verb, we use by. Okay, so by pushing the button and by exercising. Exercise and pushing, both of them are a verb. Again, do you see a pattern here? Can I say I turn on the computer by push the button? Yes, you are right. I can't do that because I need the ing at the end of the verb. So by verb and ing. Why is that? Because whenever we have any sort of preposition before a verb, we have to add ing, and in this case, whenever we have by, we have to add ing if we have a verb right after by. So by pushing the button, I keep healthy by exercising. Okay, a quiz. I learned karate by YouTube. What do you do with YouTube? You watch. Yes, I learned karate by watch YouTube. No, by watching. Yes, very good. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so some more rules with by. So we talked about by plus verb. Now let's talk about by plus noun. By, by the way, yes. Now, what does a noun mean? Probably you know that. So nouns are usually names of people, places, things, or some ideas. So they could be nouns. Okay, and whenever you use by, usually when you use by with a noun, it's usually by these. So by plus communication. What do I mean by communication? I mean a way of communication. For example, Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram, text, pigeon, I don't know, a post. These are the different ways for communication. So whenever we want to use, whenever we want to say how we did a communication, we can use by before that. So for example, I will contact you by email. By email, a form of communication. I will message you by text. I will message you by text. By text message. Okay. I will let you know by telegram. I will send a letter to you by a pigeon. Okay. In the past times they did that, so okay, good. Now, by plus transportation. Now, what do I mean by transportation? Well, transportation, when you go from this place to that place, from A to B, how you go there, it's the way of your transportation. You could go by bus, by taxi, by I don't know, a metro. You could use all of these different kinds of transportations and use by before them. So I will go by bus, or I came here by car. I went there by a taxi. I'm gonna go by Uber. Okay, so notice something. When I say I go by bus, I don't say by a bus. I say by bus. So I don't need any articles after by and before the noun. Remember this? So by an email, no. By email, by text, by bus, by car. No a, no the. Remember this. We have many more examples and exceptions with by, but I can't cover them all in just one video, but these are the most general and the most basic rules of how to use by in a sentence. So that's that. Let's move. Last but not least, let's talk about with. Okay, so we talked about by with a noun, we talked about by with verbs, and now let's talk about with nouns. Okay, so usually, just like by, we have some common nouns that we usually use with. Okay, so we usually use with body parts. So when we want to say how we did something, we did it with our hands, with our lips, with our eyes, with our legs. We use with. I smell with my nose. I touch things with my fingers. Italians talk with their hands. It means they use their hands a lot, okay? Or, for example, I point with my fingers. So whenever you want to use your body parts, remember to use with. I chew with my teeth. I swallow with my throat. I think with my brain. All of these are body parts. Now, when we have tools or instruments, again, we use with. What do I mean by that? I clean the floor with a mop. A mop is something, a device, a tool that you clean the floor with. So I clean the floor with a mop. I clean the floor with a broomstick. So different kinds of instruments that you use to do something with, you use it with. I ate dinner with a fork. I ate dinner with a spoon. I ate dinner with chopsticks. So you could use different tools and different things to eat dinner with. So that's why you use with. Okay. It might be a little bit confusing, but it's not actually. So these were the most basic rules of how we use by and with. Okay, try to use them under this video in the comment sections. Try to use with and by. Tell me how you did or you do stuff, and try to use these two prepositions to explain how you do something, and I will check them out, and if you have mistakes I will correct them. Don't worry about it. And thank you for watching this video. Until next time, have a nice